Welcome back. Premier, I mean, you take something like the SABC or the National Director of Public Prosecution. Every appointment now seems that it's going to be challenged in the courts. If you don't like somebody, boom, you're off to the courts.
It's got nothing to do with not liking someone. It's got something to do with sticking by the requirements of the Constitution. Now, we in South Africa have the supremacy of the Constitution, not of Parliament. And everybody is subject to the Constitution and the law. So let's look at Hlaudi Motsoeneng, the SABC case in point. Here we have a situation where the public protector made very damning findings about Mr. Motsoeneng, and equally, there was no competition for that post. It wasn't put out on the basis of a contestation for a position. So we don't believe that the requirements of the Constitution were fulfilled. And there's another very important principle, and that is, must the public protector's findings be taken seriously or not? Now, that is a constitutional principle that has to be established. And we want to establish it, and the only way to establish it, if the ruling party is simply ignoring Chapter 9 institutions, is to go to the courts.
But surely,
and to say,
why
must
not
the
fight
public...
it out in Parliament, which is where it's supposed to be fought out?
Because you don't get a conclusion in Parliament. You see, if the ruling party was scared of the voters, and if the ruling party believed that if they flout the Constitution, they will be punished by the voters, then it's one thing. But when you have a system like a very nascent democracy such as ours, a developing democracy, and you want to become a fully fledged and deeply rooted constitutional democracy, then the courts must tell us what the Constitution means. Did the Constitution intend the public protector's reports to be taken seriously or not? And did the Constitution intend to have the ruling party simply put itself above the Constitution?
Let me put one, before I give you a chance, Dr. Motshekga, I assure you I will. I want to put to you, Premier, what the previous National Assembly Speaker, Max Sisulu, had to say in this regard, and it's a thoughtful comment. Whether it's right or not, here it is. He says, he wrote, there is a danger in South Africa of the politicisation of the judiciary, drawing the judiciary into every and all political disputes, as if there was no other forum to deal with the political impasse related to policy, or disputes which clearly carry polycentric consequences beyond the scope of adjudication, by which he meant consequences which... I know you do, but I'm not condescending to you. I'm talking to my... Not everybody knows what polycentric means. I can assure you my students don't.
Okay.
So the idea that a court could not predict the consequences because it has vast consequences beyond the litigants, that's what he was saying. Isn't there some truth in that?
No, I think he's wrong, because if you look at the Constitution writers were anticipating that questions like rationality, that questions like transparency, that questions like just administrative action, like questions like fit and proper person would have to be tested and adjudicated. Right. And obviously all constitutions are given flesh and blood by a body of case law that back them up. And I have full confidence in our judiciary to say, this is the doctrine we'll establish. We know when we're crossing the line. We know when we're politicizing the judiciary, but we also know that it's our job to interpret the Constitution and to give guidelines.
Dr. Motshekga.
With respect to the Premier, I agree with Mrs. February that you see Parliament, that's where deliberation should take place. That is the highest national forum for consideration of national issues.
And when Parliament doesn't do anything?
Now I'm coming to that. Parliament is such a forum. Now there are structures within Parliament to address issues. For instance, when the DA ran to the Western Cape High Court to force the Speaker to either frame a rule or schedule the debate, the DA should have known that there's a rules committee. If the Speaker says, I have no power, then the matter should have been referred to the rules committee to address the lacuna that is in the rules. You don't need to first go to the High Court, to the Constitutional Court to address the lacuna when you have a structure inside Parliament.
Well, it didn't seem to me, in fairness, that Parliament at that particular point in time, or should I say the ANC, was saying, okay, let's get together and we'll reframe a rule.
You guys didn't want rules.
No.
You didn't want a motion of no confidence.
They didn't even wait for us to come to
All
that
right,
point.
let me move on from that one. What about the other ones? What about, for example...
I want to come back to the other one.
Yes, the public protector's point, that the Premier pushes.
For instance, the matter was before the portfolio, the relevant portfolio committee of communication. They ran to court when Parliament insisted with the matter. Then the ad hoc committee issue. The public protector say that the president must pay. But we are saying that the remedial action of the public protector is not binding. And if
And
for
you should
argument,
welcome
if-
the court case then,
if-
because then the courts will determine.
wait. If for argument's sake is binding, but the entire report and the president's response to it is before the ad hoc committee agreed to by Parliament.
Yes, but we
why
haven't gone to
not?
court on
Why
that.
not allow Parliament
We
to
are.
finish its business?
We are.
And if you are not happy, then if you are not happy, have recourse to the courts. And we have confidence in the courts.
Yes, Judy.
Why rush to the court before Parliament
I
finishes?
think the opposition parties, as I understand it, have not gone to court yet because obviously the matter isn't ripe. And so the ad hoc committee hasn't finished its deliberations. But I'm certain, given the walkout, that the politics of this is that this is not the first report of the public protector where the ANC has tried to cast aspersions on it, not only on the public protector's office, but on her person. And quite frankly, following the deliberations of the ad hoc committee, I have very little confidence that there will be a fair outcome with respect to you, Dr. Macheka, because I think that there hasn't been a proper attempt to engage with the recommendations by the public protector. One can't simply cherry pick what she is saying and try to give primacy to the SIU report and an interministerial task team report. And so therefore, what that means is that you do reach a stalemate and actually that the courts will have to be brought in
We
at
have
some
not
point.
done any of those things. We say all reports are before us. We are considering the reports and we reject the notion that the public protector's report has a higher hierarchy. That's all that we are saying.
Ask you this, Dr. Motshekga, before I move on. Is the problem not this? I don't think anybody here would disagree. If they do, they're very welcome to say so, that Parliament is a central institution within our democracy. That the idea of separation of powers there was a separation of powers between the legislature and the executive and the judiciary, meaning it wasn't just the legislature and the executive put together, which means that if you take the United States of America, where they have this, the legislature very often tells the president, even the democratic people within the Congress say, sorry, Mr. President, you can't do that. Isn't the problem that there's far too little accountability exercised by the legislature against the executive because we haven't figured that out properly?
I can assure you that this Parliament does hold the executive to account, but there will be differences of opinion as to how adequate or inadequate that is. But you see, you can't have a situation where when the structures of Parliament are seized with a matter that relates to the accountability.
I'm going to give the yes, sorry, yes, Premier, you want to say something?
Well, the Lord of Luthuli House, Gwedi Mantashe, went on record and said the role of the ANC in Parliament is to protect Jacob Zuma. That's what he said, and no one refuted him. You certainly didn't refute him. So it stands in the public domain that the role of the ANC in Parliament is to protect President Zuma, not hold the executive to account. That is a major problem.
The mistake with that
Yes.
is that you are not relating to matters that are happening inside Parliament. You are taking things from outside in the political arena. Let's talk about the
right.
adequacy or
We will talk
inadequacy.
about that, but I've got to take a break and then I'll give you an opportunity to debate it further.